For 3 years, everyone in the village knew her as his future wife. They had grown up side by side, walked the same dusty paths, shared the same dreams. Elders spoke their names together. Women already planned their ashobi in their minds. And she loved him with a kind of love that assumes forever. Then one day, he left for the city. He said he was going to visit his uncle, just for a while, to see life beyond the village. He promised nothing would change, and at first it didn't. His messages came often, sweet words, familiar laughter, reassurances that distance meant nothing. Then the messages slowed. Then they stopped. And one quiet afternoon, a folded note arrived. Not a call, not a visit, a note. He was ending everything. No explanation, no apology, just a few cold lines that broke 3 years of promises. The village felt her pain, but she refused to accept it. Love, she believed, does not end on paper. So she began to fight for it. She wrote letters, long, heartfelt letters, hoping he would remember who she was. None were answered. She worked on people's farms, bended her back under the sun. She washed clothes in other people's homes, her hands rough from soap and water. She cleaned houses, cooked, carried water, anything that would earn her a few coins. Every coin was saved for one purpose: to go to the city. When she finally gathered enough, she traveled there, her heart beating with hope. She waited outside his uncle's house for hours, days even. She stood there like a stranger to a life she once belonged to. But he refused to see her, and when she finally reached him, his voice was distant, sharp, and unfamiliar. "I don't want a village girl anymore." Those words followed her all the way back home. Still, she did not give up. She prayed until her knees ached. She fasted until her body weakened. She sent small gifts, things she could barely afford, hoping they would soften his heart. But love cannot survive where it is no longer wanted. Each rejection stripped something from her, until one night, exhausted and empty, she finally saw the truth. She had been losing herself trying to keep someone who had already left. And that night she stopped. No more letters, no more city trips, and no more begging. The silence that followed was painful, but it was also freeing. She turned inward, learned a skill, started a small business. It failed. Tried again. Slowly her efforts began to bear fruit. The same village that once pitied her now respected her. She grew confident, independent, and whole. Years passed. In the city, things fell apart for him. He quarreled with his uncle, mismanaged the business he was trusted with. Losses piled up, pride turned into shame, and with nowhere else to go, he returned to the village, poorer than he had left it. That was when he saw her, changed, successful, and unreachable. He followed her for weeks, wrote letters, cried openly, apologized endlessly. He begged her to forgive him, to remember what they once had, but she said no. Not out of bitterness, but out of growth. Because the woman he broke no longer existed. Then came the day the village gathered again, this time for her wedding. Drums beat, ululations filled the air. She, now a successful entrepreneur, walked proudly beside her husband, a respected city banker who chose her without shame and without conditions. The village celebrated not just a marriage, but a victory, and her story became a lesson whispered for generations. Rejection can break you or build you, and sometimes losing the wrong person is the beginning of finding the right one. Please subscribe.